through a traumatic experience? Does all hope seem lost? Are you wondering if you'll ever smile again? Then these books are for you. He Gave Me Comfort by A.M. Edgar and Through the Storm by A.M. Edgar. These books are available in both paperback and Kindle version on Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk. Also available in electronic version on acadabooks.com. So take heart, because these books will restore your hope, and yes, you will smile again.
Hello. Good afternoon. Actually, good morning for me from here, because I'm broadcasting today all the way from Tulsa, Oklahoma, in the United States of America. So I'm on a different time zone. So it's still very early for me. Some of you are joining me from the UK, and others are joining me from various places. So say hello to me in the chat. Marjorie is already saying good afternoon. Good afternoon, Marjorie. Good to have you here. Say hello to me in the chat. Let me know where you're watching me from. It's actually still morning here, and funny enough, it snowed yesterday, so it's quite cold here right now. So I'm so excited to be with you today. So welcome to Life Class with Ayum. This is Life Class with Ayum. It's a weekly program I do, where I bring you the word of comfort, the word of hope, so that your hope can be rekindled, you can be encouraged, you can be built up. And I'm actually very excited about my topic today. Today, I'm speaking on growing or just aging. Growing or just aging. And this is a very interesting subject to me, because I realize that many of us don't actually know the difference between growing or just aging. Hello, Pat. Good to see you. Good afternoon. Yes, so say hello to me. The rest of you that are watching, I want to know where you are watching me from. I want to know, I just say hello to me. And as I'm speaking, if whatever I'm saying resonates with you, or if you have your thoughts, please share it in the chat. I want to learn from you as well. Let's learn from one another. So like I said, our topic for today is growing or just aging. So what is the difference between the two? I'm sure you are curious to know. So growth actually is when we increase. When in growth, you may increase in size, you may increase in your knowledge, you may increase in your physical ability, what you can do, what you can handle. You may increase in your mental ability, your spiritual ability. So that is growth. And of course, that is why we talk about physical growth. We talk about mental growth. We talk about spiritual growth. So in various areas of our life, we can grow. And actually, it is necessary that we grow in every area of our life. So I'm talking about growth or just aging. And I've just made us to understand that in growth, there's always increase. There's always development when you grow. So when you grow, you don't remain the way you were. You find that your understanding of things get better. Your ability to handle things get better. You just find that you are able to do more. And I also realize that when you grow, your value also increases, because people know that they can get more from you. For instance, when you grow, you are able to handle more. You can do more maybe within an hour than somebody that have remained maybe the way they were and they have not developed themselves. And because of that, you are able to add more value to people, and then other people are also able to place more premium on you and pay you more because you have grown. But one thing about growth is that growth comes with development. Growth is intentional. One of the things I do is that I teach the 15 Laws of Growth, which is a book by John Maxwell. So I usually do a mastermind on it. And the first law of growth is the law of intentionality. So you find that growth has to be intentional. Growth does not just happen automatically, that like many of us think. And that is why I'm talking today about growing or just aging. Because age, you don't need to do anything about it, whether we like it or not. We get older on a daily basis. So the difference between growing and aging is that why growth is increasing your value, it's increasing your mental capacity, it's increasing your physical capacity, it's increasing your spiritual ability. You find that aging, on the other hand, may only just increase maybe your physical. No, not sometimes. It doesn't even increase your physical capacity. You may grow physically, you may grow taller, but you've not grown in what you are able to handle. And then sometimes aging also, when aging also happens when I've seen that, okay, like especially for myself that have taking care of a special needs child before, you find that sometimes they are growing in age, but because of the challenges that they are faced with, they are not able, they are increasing in age, but they are not really growing in their abilities. Sometimes you can see a child that is maybe like 16 years, and then the child is looking like an 8-year-old. If I remember my daughter Grace, I remember her for her blessed memory. I know that because of the challenge that she was going through, her development was not comparable to her age. And I remember initially when I gave birth to her and I carried her around, when she was like 3 months, and I carried her because of the way she was so tiny. People would ask me, "Oh, how old is your baby?" And when I say 3 months, they say, "Oh, 3 weeks," because she looked very tiny for her age. And in that case, nobody can blame her because it's not something that was within her power to do something about her growth in that capacity. But you find that for many of us, we can do something about our growth. Because, like I said, whether you like it or not, you are increasing in age. And time is not waiting for anyone. We are all growing older on a daily basis. We are all aging on a daily basis. But are you going to make your age to count? Maybe you can look at the question I'm asking like that in another way. Are you going to make your age to count? And the way you make your age to count is that you begin to develop yourself on a daily basis. One of the confessions I make every day is that I am getting better on a daily basis. I am growing on a daily basis because I don't want each day to pass and I don't learn something new. I don't want each day to pass and I don't grow in an area, I don't develop myself. And that is the difference between growing and aging. Because like I said, whether we like it or not, we age on a daily basis. But on the other hand, if you don't do something about growth, you find that you may just be getting older and your ability is not increasing, your capacity is not increasing because you thought before now that growth was automatic, that as you get older, you will be growing, which in many cases it is not. You need to do something about your growth, to develop yourself. About your spiritual growth, you need to do something. About your mental growth, you need to do something. So if you want to know more, you can contact me after this. But today I'm just here to let you know that we can't be aging and not growing. We can be aging and not growing. And I'm going to read a scripture for us. In Galatians chapter 4, verse 1, Galatians chapter 4, verse 1, the New Living Translation of it says, "Think of it this way. If a father dies and leaves an inheritance for his young children, those children are no much better than slaves until they grow up, even though they actually own everything their father had." So you find that this is the Bible speaking to us now. And this is something that is normal in our society. For instance, when you are making a will, your young children many times will not be able to access that will until they become adults, until they grow. And the Bible is telling us here that yes, when God leaves an inheritance for us, until we grow up, we are no different than slaves. Because it's only when you grow up that you'll be able to take hold of your inheritance. And the interesting thing about this is that in normal will that we live for our children, we'll say, okay, until maybe they attain the age of 18, when they are adults, they'll be able to access the benefits of the will. But in the things of life, it has nothing to do with age. It's until you develop yourself mentally, until you develop yourself, that you're able to handle more. That is when you get the benefits, you get the value that God is talking about here. And the same thing, it applies to mental growth, it applies to spiritual growth. There are many of us that maybe we've been in Christ for a long time, but because we are doing nothing about our growth, we find that we are no different from somebody maybe that just gave their life to Christ today. And because we are not doing much about it, we are not able to access the inheritance that God has for us. Hello, Julia. Good to have you here. Good afternoon. You're welcome. So until we do something about our growth, we will not be able to access the inheritance that God has for us. And that is why I'm here today, to encourage us, to challenge us that let us begin to grow. Let us begin to grow. And the way you grow is that you want to increase in your knowledge, the things you know. Because I know that growth comes with, I told us earlier that growth comes with increase. Growth comes with improvement. When you are growing, you are able to do something much more. You're able to do it much better. You're able to do it faster. You're able to do it to a higher level of excellence because you have grown. And that comes with what you know. And when I was thinking about this topic, the thought just came to me this morning that it's only what you are aware of that you can improve. And for some of us, maybe we are not aware that we need to be intentional about our growth. We need to do something about our growth, that aging does not necessarily equal growth. And now that you are aware of it now, it will help you to start taking steps, to start asking yourself, what can I do to grow myself? What can I do to make myself better? What can I do to be able to handle more? And when you begin to ask yourself those questions, you find that you now begin to brainstorm, answers will begin to come. And then I also realize that you cannot grow without learning. I say that growth comes with knowledge. And of course, knowledge is acquired by learning. So if we want to really grow, we need to begin to be hungry for knowledge. We need to begin to be hungry for knowledge, so that as we are hungry for knowledge, as we acquire this knowledge, we are growing. And of course, growth will not happen by just learning alone. It is by learning and application. As you learn, you apply what you are learning. So I want to encourage everyone that is watching me today, that let us step out of just growing older. Let us get rid of that mentality that as I grow older, I will get wiser. It is not always so. I have seen some people that are, okay, usually, the word they'll tell you that they say, well, how do they say it now? They say life begins at 40, right? Yeah, that's what they tell us. They say life begins at 40. But I don't know about you. I've seen a lot of 40-year-olds that are still not wise. They are still behaving foolishly. And it looks like they're not aware that life have even started. And then sometimes you see a 14-year-old that is very wise, that is very matured. And that is why it has now dawned on me, seeing people that are young and are very matured and are very calculated and are able to handle a lot of things. And when you talk to them, you can just reason that this one is actually very matured and they know what they are doing. And then sometimes when you relate with people that are older, you just find that they are very childish because they have not grown. So yes, we can get older and not grow. We can get older and then we may not have developed ourselves. So I want to encourage us, let us begin to grow. Let us begin to make each day count. Let us begin to make each year count. Let us begin to make every moment that happens in our life count. Let us commit to developing ourselves. That is how we'll be able to lay hold of our inheritance that is in Christ. We'll be able to lay hold of the promises that God has for us. And then whatever that we need to get hold of, even here on earth in your career, you cannot get hold of it if you are not developing yourself, if you are not growing. So I've come to discover that yes, maturity comes with growth, but age comes with time. Age comes with time. So like I said, whether we like it or not, at the end of today, by the time we step into tomorrow, we are going to be a day older. But when you become a day older, have you actually grown by that day? Are you actually a day a day wiser? Are you a day more matured when that day passes? So I'm going to end this by giving us a quote by John Maxwell. And that quote says that, he says this humorously. He says, maturity does not always come with age. He said maturity does not always come with age. He says sometimes age comes alone. And I'm sure you and I have seen people that age have come alone in their life. Sometimes you've seen people that are old, and the way they behave, you are wondering, is this person really this age? And then sometimes you see somebody that is very young, and the way they are behaving, you're also asking, wow, are you sure this person is just 14? She's too matured for her age because of what she's able to handle. So I want to encourage you, if we want our value to increase, if we want our worth to increase, if we want our increase to increase, then we need to commit to growth. And one thing I must tell you is that, maybe I'll talk about that next week, is that there's a price to pay for growth. Growth does not even come free. Because at the end of the day, when you grow, because your value is going to increase, because your worth is going to increase, your pay is going to increase when you grow, your influence is going to increase when you grow. And because of the benefits that come with growth, there's still some price that you need to pay to grow. But it's something that you enjoy, because for me, I enjoy growing, because as I'm learning, as I'm developing, I'm seeing myself evolving. It's exciting to me. And that is what can happen to you also that is watching us right now. So once again, thank you so much for joining me. This is Live Class with Ayum. I'll be here with you again next week, 1 p.m. UK time. And by the way, I'll be starting a mastermind class on the 28th of March, where I'll be teaching on how to create a growth mindset. It's going to be a 4-week course, and I'll be doing it for free. So if you are interested, send me a private message so that I can enroll you. I only want about 10 people in that class because I don't want the class to be too big. So if you're interested, send me a message, and then I'll be able to help you to create a growth mindset. Because sometimes we want to grow, but we don't have the mindset to grow. There is a mindset that helps you to grow. So if you want to be part of that 4-week class, send me a private message and I will enroll you. So once again, thank you so much for joining me. It's great to have you with me today. I'm so excited that you are able to make it. I'm able to make it. So continue to enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you again next week at the same time. God bless you.
Are you going through a traumatic experience? Does all hope seem lost? Are you wondering if you'll ever smile again? Then these books are for you. He Gave Me Comfort by A.M. Edgar and Through the Storm by A.M. Edgar. These books are available in both paperback and Kindle version on Amazon.com and Amazon.co.uk. Also available in electronic version on acadabooks.com. So take heart, because these books will restore your hope, and yes, you will smile again.